today we have someone that I'm pretty excited to have here because definitely inspirational as far as like what I do, and then also just as an overall person. You'll usually find him out here on the weekends playing guitar. I had no idea who he was at first. I thought he was just some guitar playing kind of quirky guy outside like playing blues or something, and then I had no idea who he was until I saw him with the box that said Squeegee Prints. So if you guys don't know, this is Juan, Squeegee Prints. He's got a screen printing business, San Diego, and I would say like if you're in San Diego, well, probably like all over the world, there's a good chance you might have a shirt that is printed by him. Because like I swear, like every single person that has a screen printed shirt in San Diego, at least, they always mention his name. When I first started, I hit him up, and I'll get into that later. But it's crazy. Like you have done so much. You still do so much business down here. Like you're like the screen printing tycoon of imprintables. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. But I want to introduce Juan. Everyone, check him out. Squeegee Prints. So thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. Seriously, I'm stoked to be on the podcast. Thank you so much.
No, I appreciate it. Like, I remember that, like, when I first saw you, I saw you playing the guitar. And first of all, you're super good at guitar. Like, I thought that was a trip. Like, I thought that's all you did. You know what I mean? And then I had no idea that you were Squeegee Prints. I've always seen, like, Squeegee Prints. And I've always seen, like, the name, always heard it and all, you know. But I had no idea, like, who you were. And then after talking to you, you're like one of the most humble, down to earth kind of people. Like, I don't think anyone even realizes like how much you do. You know what I mean? But nah, it's super cool. And so like the guitar thing, how long have you been doing that?
I've been playing guitar since 25. I'm 30 years old now, so about 5 years.
That's it?
Uh,
Are you self-taught or?
Somewhat, yeah. A lot self-taught, a lot of YouTube, but a lot of learning from a couple different friends that really showed me, kind of guided me, directed me towards like sort of some music to listen to and what to study, and that's like what really inspired me and like led me.
I can't believe you can learn that on YouTube. Like, it's crazy, right? Like how much you can learn.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I had no idea. I thought you've been playing since you were like a kid. Cause like you hear it and it sounds like I don't know. It sounds like legit like blues, right? Is that what you play, blues?
Correct. Yeah, that's pretty much like my forte, like my favorite thing to play.
Yeah, cause I was like, what the hell is that? And then like I'll look outside, and then I see you just like getting to business, you know. And then it's like, oh crap, that's sick though.
Thank
So
you
then,
so much, man.
well, and then another interesting thing about you is that you skate, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, skateboarder.
Yeah, and like if you guys don't know, like if you follow him at all, you'll trip out. Like this guy like really skates. Like I don't know how you find time to do it all, but like skating. When did you start out with that?
I started skating actually kind of late, sort of when I was like 17, 18 years old. I was just cruising around with some friends, and then I just started slowly getting more serious about it, like around 19 years old. And then I really sort of started saying, you know what, I'm really going to go skate these like harder spots. And
Then you started really late.
yeah, I started really late, so I didn't really start at like a super young age.
That's even crazier because I feel like when you start off young, you don't understand like what can happen to you. You know what I mean? So like you'll do ledges, you'll do rails, and you're like falling down, and you're like, oh dude, I broke my arm. No big deal. But when you're old, you're like, oh crap, like if I get hurt, like I might die. You know what I mean? Like you don't see death when you're young.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
damn, you started when you're 18. That's That's pretty ballsy. Because you're not just doing flatland tricks. You're doing like pools.
Yeah, so when I originally started skating, I would skate like a bunch of ditches down here in Chula Vista by the amphitheater and Orange Avenue, like some of the famous spots. It's actually where the Dogtown movie was filmed.
Oh,
And
really? It was filmed down here?
yeah, the Dogtown scene, a lot of the ditch scenes were filmed um, right there on Orange Avenue and 3rd.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then also a lot of the scenes for the beach scenes were filmed in IB.
Oh, what a trip.
Yeah, it was a real trip.
Yeah, I had no idea.
hmm And so I started skating those around that time, around like 18. And then slowly I started realizing like some of my other friends were like skating pools. And so I was like, damn, that's cool. I want to go skate pools. So before I even learned all that, I started skating Washington Street. So I was already getting the taste for like skating bowls and like getting that feel. But all my friends were like, this is nothing like compared to skating pools.
Yeah.
And so they would take me to skate pools, and then it kind of sparked my interest in like really trying to find them at that age. So around that age, and it was during the foreclosure and the big crisis in 2008 when everyone's lost their job and there was a lot of foreclosed homes. During that time, it was like the map to the stars. Every foreclosed home like had a pool in like certain areas. So we were like checking houses all the time, seeing if they had pools, going to skate them. And it was just like a crazy time in my life where I just like learned how to skate with like some friends that were just pool skaters, and like they just really inspired me to go.
Is there a difference like between like a modern pool and then like the old school, like 70s homes, 80s homes kind of pools? Like,
yeah,
like as far as the vert, aren't a lot of them now like square or?
Yeah, a lot of them are like modern now and like a perfect square.
Are they skatable?
They are, but not in the same way. You're not gonna be
I feel like it's like a giant wall ride or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be like skating like more like a wall ride or something like that.
What a trip. Damn, so when you started pools, did you start off, when you started just concrete, whatever, like Washington Street, were you just like pumping, or did you like drop in from the get-go?
It was a trip because I had already sort of like, I remember when I told myself like I'm gonna dedicate myself to like just skating like some more stuff.
Yeah.
I went to go drop in that day. I remember I went to like, I think it was like Chula Vista Skate Park, and I dropped in on like some different things, like one thing, and then I sort of like kept stepping it up to like different
Getting
ramps.
feel for it?
Yeah, and then keep doing it over and over and over, like a million times, just getting the feel for it. And then I remember the next day I went to Washington Street and I just like dropped it in the back bowl.
Damn, that's scary. Like, I don't know, because I remember like being young and I would stand at the top and just like look down. And then I don't even know if I ever had the balls to really do it. Like even on a mini ramp, like it's so fast, So I can't even imagine like a pool, And then I see you and you're in the air and you're doing all sorts of stuff. Like that's crazy. So like your main thing that you do is printing. So like, how did you even get into that?
I got into screen printing because when I was really young and I had just gotten out of high school, like a lot of young people, that I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I basically dropped out of college. I got kicked out of my house. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I was just doing a bunch of different things, trying to kind of figure it out, test the waters. I tried like some mechanic stuff. I tried some art stuff. I just tried a bunch of different things. And one thing that kind of called out to me was one of my friends had asked me to help him print some stickers. And he was screen printing the stickers. And I went to go help him, and he showed me the process of just putting ink on the screen and pulling it with the squeegee.
Oh, so at that time you were the apprentice. You were just like,
I was just
helping
him
out. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, hand me the stickers, hand me some ink.
Yeah, correct. And it was like very DIY style,
yeah,
so he just kind of showed me this like little glimpse of the process, and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
yeah,
But then I just asked him, but how do you get the stencil onto the screen?
yeah.
And then so it just kind of started on all unraveling from there, and I started to like really dive deep into the craft, and I just kind of sort of decided like I really like what what I'm learning here, and it's kind of it doesn't end. I'm still a student on what I'm doing. I'm still learning every day. Things are ever changing in the industry at all times, so um, it was just something I really enjoyed. So I devoted my life to learning the craft early on, and now I'm 30 years old, and we started Squeegee Prints in 2009. So this December it's going to be 10 years in business.
Wow.
Super excited.
That okay, so like to me that's like pretty inspirational. 10 years is hard. I don't think anyone well, I'm sure people out there. A lot of people I get they're like, oh, I'm gonna start something and um starting takes the longest, I guess. People like, I'm gonna start something. That part takes a long time and then actually starting and then actually like succeeding in doing it, that's like a whole different thing. But a lot of times people start and don't ever. Well, they say they're gonna start. I guess it's a pre-start,
Mm-hmm.
and they never get to the starting point. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So like 10 years is amazing because, well, first of all, I think that shows your character. You were pretty young when you started. You had the balls to like just try to do it. So like, how did you
Yeah.
start off? Was it pretty humble? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty humble. So
like,
like I didn't know really. I had I only had that information from what I had learned,
yeah.
and during those times YouTube was very young and there wasn't that much information.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, During that time, I feel like the trait was still treated as like
Like classic comic.
very secretive and
Yeah,
very
yeah,
protected. People weren't really um, showing it or any kind of intel or information about
yeah,
it. So it was
yeah,
really hard for me to learn. I kind of figured it out for the most part by like reading some books and checking out like some stuff on the internet that I could like learn about the process, but it was just very rudimentary. So
yeah,
I knew at one point in time I was like, I need to learn more. I need to figure out how to do this for real, and like how are people printing this type of ink and this and this. There's so many questions that there's no way I could figure it all out myself. So I went to go work at this factory at like a young age. I think I was like 19 at the time. I was still working at I just turned 19. I was still working at the restaurant right here at Family House Pancakes. Shout out to them.
Oh, you
That
work
was,
there?
yeah,
Oh, dude.
yeah.
Oh, okay. That yeah. You
And
print the
so,
shirts too.
yeah, yeah. So,
Nice.
so I was working for them at a young age, and I at that time I had just gotten a factory job through somebody I knew. I knew the accountant at that big screen printing factory.
Yeah.
It's called King Graphics. It's still around today. They're like a really big contract shop. Um, but they kind of I learned everything in there. I learned what to do, what not to do, um, bottlenecks in the business, what to be aware of.
Yeah.
You know,
Would you say that was helpful? Like
it was
the.
one of the most helpful things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were printing for people in the like everyone in the industry, Hurley, Burton, um, shoot,
Oh, so
there
you
was like
saw.
huge orders, all the stuff for PacSun, um, all the
Yeah,
Tillies and
yeah,
all those like big. And at that time, they were a lot bigger. Those
yeah,
stores, um, and we were just printing for like a lot of big name brands, and I just got to see the best quality style of printing with
yeah.
really great screen printing equipment and machines. So I was able to get a glimpse at like what really good production looks like.
Well, you're in that world now because your setup is pretty gangster. But like stepping it back, that's a whole different world. I used to do stuff for this company called Skiva. It's very similar to like um, what you're describing. Like they would do these accounts like during the recession they did this shirt like got broke or something as like a Monopoly man, and like they seriously printed like 250,000 shirts or something, like stacks and stacks of pallets, and um, and they would print their samples on a manual. Um, for you guys that don't know, a manual press is like you spin it and you actually use your arms and do all that. This guy, um, he would like eyeball things and do the micros and just like boom, 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 and then like the final piece was so impressive, and it's like I realized then that like screen printing is like seriously an art because they would have me do color sets, and I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. I didn't have like software and stuff. I was like doing Photoshop and separating, and I don't even know if I was giving them like any kind of like bleed or choke or anything. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea what I was doing, but they were able to get those films and line it up, and I'm thinking like, damn, that's skill. Like it's crazy. And then to see the operation of like people loading and like doing all that, it's very different from like what I do. I mean, I'm a one man band, just you know, four color press, like but screen printing to me is like you really realize how hard it is once you do it, and it's definitely an art form. Um, a lot of people just think, oh, like I get a lot of people like, well, I was one of those people, so we'll go into that. I remember when I first started my brand, um, I was coming from companies that just paid people to make shirts, and I never had to front the bill. So like I didn't, and their prices were crazy because they're ordering like 30,000 shirts, 20,000 shirts or something. So me wanting like 12 shirts or something, it's much different. But I remember I saw you had to add on Craigslist, and like, dude, I'd look up screen printing, and you were everywhere. Like Google, like you're like the only screen printer in the world. But I hit you up, and then it was like during the time when like Black Scale was big, and they had looked like NASCAR. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I was like, how much is this? And you're like, oh, it's gonna be that. And I was like, damn, like how am I gonna do that? So then I went to YouTube, and like sadly I even made a wooden press because some jackass on YouTube tells you to make a wooden press. I It kind of works, but like, dude, you can't get far on a wooden press. Like, you just can't. You could do like a single color hit and just hope for the best, but then you're not gonna go far. So like, as much as YouTube is pretty awesome, it could send you down a road of despair and disaster.
Yeah.
And little by little, you realize the more you do it, you realize how valuable equipment is. You know what I mean? So like,
You're absolutely right.
I remember like I was thinking, oh, I could just print shirts with a heat gun, and I could just sit there, and then I'll get someone like, dude, half my shirt washed out. I'm like, oh, that's weird. You're like, oh crap, now I need to like try to heat gun all these other ones, and like that's not gonna work either. So I think it's awesome if like people out there are interested in like hobbying it and stuff, but it costs a lot to actually like do it. You know what I mean? You'll find out little by little all these pitfalls, and that you should have just bought better stuff to begin with, but that's expensive. So that's why printers and everything are so valuable. I think had I gone back in time, I probably would have gone straight to you and never become a person that prints. I don't even consider myself really like a screen printer. I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not the best. I've never like hung out with like an old man that's been printing. You know what I mean? And like pass me my ink and like teach me all the nuances and stuff. So I kind of had to learn it myself. So when you learn things yourself, you're always kind of like, oh, I don't know, it worked. You know what I mean? But I think that's sick, dude. Like, you got the opportunity to work somewhere and learn all of it and see how it's done right. And I would say, like, when I look at your shop and I look at your videos and stuff, I think like, damn, this guy does it right. Like, I give it up to you. Like,
Thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Honestly, I'm like, uh, it brings a tear to my eye almost, like to hear like when I that type of stuff about my business and myself, and I gotta really I gotta really give credit to my team as well. So we have a really cool team that we work with, and everyone, all of our values really align,
yeah.
and it's about the teamwork for sure.
How big of a team do you guys have?
Right now I have a 4-person team.
Oh yeah.
And then not including myself. But I plan on making it grow a little bit,
Yeah.
and because I'm kind of taking on a couple different roles that um, I just want to have certain people take on
Yeah.
and be focused on, so we could just get the maximum output in the shop and make it run correctly.
I have the $1 million question for you.
Mhm.
Those videos that you do, is that you?
Those are the my videos. Yeah, I film them and do the editing and stuff.
Dude, those are really sick. Like, I had a feeling it was you based on musical choice.
Uh-huh.
But cinematography, I had no idea. I was thinking like, damn, maybe he's got some like dude that just loves making videos. But you are really good at that. Like, yeah, like you're a pretty talented guy. Cause like the videos are like high quality, right? Like it's not sketchy at all. Like I don't know, like as a screen printer and I see it, I'm like, damn, like dude, that's legit. Like, and you're not hiding anything. Cause like some things are messy,
Mhm.
but like your stuff's real clean and like I could tell you do everything right. You know what I mean? Um, that I trip out on, and then also your workspace is very impressive. Like you're, I don't know how to describe it, but like, well, you made your ink station, right? And that's pretty sick too. Like it's so organized. Like that's very impressive. Either that or you're like super anal. You're like a crazy man, you know? But
I, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. But a lot of that stuff, honestly, um, contributes to me. I know you say like we do it right, but a lot of it contributes to because I've done it wrong before in the past, and
yeah,
the important thing is like to recognize that it, not just that it's wrong, but you could do better,
yeah,
and then we
yeah,
could all do better.
yeah,
And a lot of times we realize, we say it all the time, we're our own worst critics,
yeah, yeah,
and I feel like that's very true for myself because in that sense it's helped me progress um, in a lot of things in life, not just screen printing, but guitar and skateboarding and anything else I kind of devote my time to, because um, it's that mentality of trying it over and over and over and over again, even if you get it wrong a million times, like you might just get it right once, and you just got to keep practicing and knowing like, I could still make it better.
yeah.
And then having that mentality really helps out a lot, I feel like, in progressing, making things better.
No, I feel that because I mean, like, I've tried to really um, get better and like not cut corners, and you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things you can do to speed up the process, but the quality sucks. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know. The quality is so important, and I can see that with all your stuff. I mean, I don't know. Just as a observer, not even just a screen print or whatever. It's like I understand why people come to you because you do a good job presenting your business. Um, I think that like if there's anyone out there that is looking at like starting something, whether it's printing or a restaurant or whatever, like I think you're a good case study to see that like anyone can put their best foot forward. I mean, when I see your business like online and everything, I think you're just as big as like these factories that you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like at least and I bet you your videos are even better than theirs. And it explains why you do so much, like why so many people trust you with their artwork and to do their stuff for their work. Yep. Yeah, you do some pretty big people stuff. Like I saw you do angels and airwaves, right? Like that's pretty crazy. Especially like I'm old, you know, and being in San Diego and like they're like legends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So um it's just dope. And you look at the quality of work that you do, like you can't half-ass that, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I give yourself credit. I mean, you probably give yourself credit, but um, you should be proud of that.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am super proud of my little shop, to be honest, because I feel like we provide a really valuable service to a lot of people in the community, a lot of businesses,
Yeah.
and it's really honorable, at the end of the day, um, just producing, like, making sure we're producing a good quality product and establishing like a really good relationship with these different businesses or organizations that need shirts. Our values align.
Yeah.
We just have the same goals, which is creating a quality product. That's a really cool part. I get to work with these companies that have the same goals as we do, is just creating a really quality product
Yeah.
and making their visions of that quality product come to life. That's what really drives me and motivates me, kind of gets me going, my fuel. And it's like that type of gratitude for that quality product. And we
Yeah. I
all
mean,
we
you can
all
see
have
it.
it. We all have it when we order something, we get something when we, whether it's at a restaurant, um, you're buying at something at the store. If it's a quality product and you genuinely enjoy it, it sparks joy. Like that's what I'm trying to deliver. That's the type of experience I'm trying to deliver at Squeegee Prints.
It probably works because like I don't know, like you keep on making shirts. Like it's crazy. Um, so one thing that's interesting about you too is like you came in here, and I would say like I'm like several stages below you as a screen printer. You're like um, NFL, and I'm like Pop Warner. You know what I mean? Um, and you've come in here and like you've talked to me, and you're you're not snobby at all. You're like, oh yeah, check out these blanks or do this. That's pretty cool. Like a lot of people, especially like art people, print people, things like that, like things that do like a service. A lot of them are jerks. You know what I mean? Like, let's say it's a sandwich or something. Like, oh, it can cook longer, or like not enough salt, or you know what I mean? Just like kind of a punk, you know. But I don't know. I think you're a different kind of person. Like in a good way, not in a bad way. Just very rare. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's why. I think the quality and everything that people get from Squeegee is like, I'm sure great, but probably a lot of that business comes from like dealing with you as well. You're just a different kind of person. Um, so like when you started off, how did you like? I understand how you started printing and stuff, but like having a business, I'm sure as you know, is bananas. Like it's hard. Um, because it's not just about printing. Now you're talking about like pricing things. Now you're talking about like ordering stuff. Were you always good at that? Like the management of business? Or like have you been business minded?
Um, I haven't always been the best. Of course, I've made mistakes um, throughout all of screen printing. Whether that may be, whether that could be like taking on jobs that maybe I didn't realize I could take on that were too tough, or um, just not evaluating things right, not knowing like the type of pricing I should have. Um, a lot of things were like kind of could have been detrimental to my business, but I was able to see, what wasn't good for me and what was
Yeah.
bad. I was able to like do this forensic analysis on my business and kind of decide like what were the good patterns that I should follow to um, continue the revenue, and what was the bad stuff that was gonna kill me, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but it's definitely been really challenging to um, be really just good at business. I feel like my whole um, my whole career as a screen printer, I've been really focused on the process of
Mhm.
screen printing. And last year, I kind of went backwards in business because I was being really competitive in the market and trying to be really competitive with my prices. And I actually went backwards a little bit. So I made a mistake, and I didn't realize until like the end of the year when I had kind of done my numbers. I was busy, really busy, but I was just busy enough to like hit minimum. I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
really making a lot more, making as much as I should have since we were working so hard. So I had realized that, and I made a really bad decision by trying to compete with like all these people just by price. And um, I realized, right away that I want to focus on marketing and just establishing more quality relationships with people that want a really genuinely good product.
Yeah.
And
Because
that's been my focus. And I make mistakes like everyone else, so but it's important to realize what they are and like what to do to move forward.
yeah, and it's hard to be competitive because it's not the same product. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
two shirts may look alike,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like those cooking shows with chefs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like where they all go and cook a cake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure like if you had 5 printers and they all had to make one final shirt, it would all be done different. And some of them, the quality would really suck, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I see people and like they'll come in here, like you print shirts, like, oh, I can get shirts done for $1 down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Like $1? Like, dude, I don't know. But if that's true, then that's good. Like, just go to Mexico. Because I don't know how, I don't know, you know? But if you're saying it comes out good and whatever, then why would you even be looking around anywhere else?
Yeah, exactly. So that's the classic one that when people come into my shop, they're like, "Oh, I get it for this much in TJ." Like, go to TJ,
Yeah,
and then
because
they just usually like, pretty quiet after that. They just kind of like,
yeah, and I don't
they
think
don't want to go. Obviously, whether they don't want to deal with the quality or they don't want to deal with going down there. Um, that's the value that I have that I can set in. Hey, they don't have to go down there. They don't have to deal with them. They can have better communication with us. Whether it can mean a lot of things. So as to some people, when they come to us, it's not necessarily just that. Hey, Squeegee Prints does a really great job. This year, I've been focusing on. Hey, I'm going to Squeegee Prints because they answer our emails within 3 to 5 minutes.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to set like a better quality of
service and yeah.
service as a standard. So um, it really that I'm noticing that's going to really be helping my business.
I would say like I don't know, just as an observer in the last few years, like Squeegee's definitely, you guys have definitely like done a better job at the whole presentation of the entire business. I mean, whether it's just like before it'd be an occasional post of like a shirt you did or you know what I mean, but now like it's so well done. I mean, I see it all. Even like you show a shirt and it's even artsy, like probably on some grid where it's like 3/4 of the shirt and you see one sleeve. It's like I get it, it's a t-shirt and like the design. Like you're smiling because you probably do that. Like I see all that and you see the printing and it's a lot of work though. I don't think people realize like how much. work it is to like cleaning a screen really sucks. And I don't know if there's a magic to it, but if there is, like, let me know. But cleaning screens sucks, like reclaiming them. Um, Burning screens is cool, I guess. But just dealing with ink is just, it's a lot of work. And like, a lot of people think they could just do it. I was one of those stupid ass people that thought I could just do it. And I wasted a lot of shirts in the process, you know? Like trash bags and trash bags of shirts. I still mess up shirts today. I think it's just like normal, you know? But it's not like, I think people think it's like a printer. You know, like, I mean, in a sense, like an Epson or something.
Like a DTG or
Yeah, like
something.
I'm gonna go to Squeegee and here's my shirts. Like, when can you have them done? Like 10 minutes? You know,
I have
like
a lot of
Kinko's.
those.
Like you just put it in and like magic happens. But dude, this is like, it's, I don't know. There isn't a, I don't think DTG or anything. I think it kind of sucks. Like, there isn't a better way than screen printing. But the technology hasn't got there to make it like really easy. You know, like it's a lot of work. Even like registering and setting up your press, and I mean that takes time. And I always tell people like to do one shirt is gonna take like an hour. To do two shirts will take an hour and 1 second. Like,
Yep.
you know, like that's why they charge you so much. People will come in here and they go, dude, check this out. Like, what do you think? I got a quote from Squeegee. I said, dude, it's hard, and he'll do a good job. So, like, what else is there to say? You know, but my friend's neighbor's brother can do it for $3. Well, like, I don't know, dude. It's probably gonna suck. So it's up to you. You know, and you're always gonna get those people, but you're lucky. You have people that you have good clients. You know. And I think they understand how important it is to look good, and you do a good job at providing them that.
Yep. I try to do that. I try to have that. I feel like it's valuable for my clients to have sometimes that um, that type of media, additional content of us making it and promoting it,
Oh yeah,
and
that's worth like
you know,
tons.
because it makes a lot of people see it. They repost it, all their followers.
Yeah,
see
and they
it,
realize like how hard it is, and oh wow, this is something being made.
and like oh, it gets documented, and we get to use it as content. Like a lot of people like don't really see the value in that until they have it, and then they're like, wow, this is great.
I see it.
And then yeah, it's we've been really fortunate to work with like a lot of really great clients, to be honest, and it's cool. Like I said, they value the things that we value, and it's really good quality work, and so a lot of times as well as delivering on time.
Yeah.
Having good communication between orders and
Yeah,
making
I'd say that's
sure
huge.
that yeah, it's huge. Like, because there's pitfalls, you know, things fall through the cracks. People don't, you know, the bad communication, and it, it happens. So
Yeah.
it's important to have those people and systems in place to make the business run right. And I wanted to bring up the point about you talking about the quality of screen printing being better. I really do think it's like the premium and best form of printing on a garment or in a lot of other types of substrates.
Yeah, yeah.
It it has a type of tangent.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a tangible.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's something that I feel people really really enjoy, and when you have that digital aspect of it, it's I don't know.
The luster of it. The minute you see a pixel or something, it's just wah wah. Like,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
has
know.
like a dullness sometimes to it, and some of it looks great sometimes. You know, I don't want to knock it off, you know, completely, but just the craft of screen printing.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it's different. You're talking about like a painting versus a print. You know, and
yeah,
it's just different when you see like the ink buildup, and it's just different, way different.
Also, beware to any buyers that just want to get into the printmaking industry and want to get a DTG printer. I don't advise anyone to do that. I don't even know if they're worth it if you're already handling a lot of screen printing orders and you're thinking about getting into it. I just don't think you'll ever get your ROI or ROT, which is return on investment or return on time. It's a very, very expensive machine. And I don't know if it's gonna last that long until you make that 20,000 or
yeah. I mean, it's cool because you can make one shirt at a time.
It's cool in that aspect, but it
I would
also
assume
is
the
not
ink
cool
is
because it
real.
takes so long to make one shirt at a time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time.
It's only good for doing these random, one shirt things,
The overhead is expensive, and not only that, the time it takes to make a shirt is so long that you realize you'll have a cap. You won't be able to scale the business, so it's very dangerous.
It's kind of like heat pressing vinyl. It's not the same, and it's cool if you want to go to Disneyland with your girlfriend and it says I'm with him or I'm with her, you know what I mean? But and your last name or something, but besides that, it really sucks, you're gonna walk around, it's gonna get hot, and then letters are gonna peel,
Yeah, that's right.
and it's just not the same. But I don't know, you ever come across really whack artwork?
All the time.
Yeah. Does it bum you out, or it's just part of it? Because I never see those videos.
Don't worry, I don't. Yeah. I have those in an archive.
Yeah, it's a trip too, right? Because having a brand, I'm trying to make things that I think people would like. When I do stuff for people and I'm printing for them or whatever, they'll give me stuff where I'm like, are you sure, dude? But they get it and they're like, damn, that is so awesome. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. And you're like, all right. All you
Yeah, you know what?
It's a weird thing.
It's something actually I push a lot is for people to work, or for companies or anyone to work with an artist, bands, whoever it may be. Everyone should be working with an artist because the artwork is the most important part.
Yeah.
It's the most important. It's crucial, and it's half the battle. If you have really good artwork, you're not gonna have to deal with the headache of dealing with the printer as much because the artist already has
done it
a
right,
lot of work, and probably most likely mocked it up,
tech
some
pack
things together. If they have the capabilities or knowledge of making tech packs, that's great.
Eliminates all the questions of the hell is this?
All the back and forth, correct, and get straight to straight to it.
Yeah, and it would look better than. Well, I don't know. That's hard too, right? I would say in today's day and age, a lot of people aren't using designers, and they're putting out some really just basic shirts and stuff, and people are cool with it. They like them, which to me is weird. Seeing a shirt and it's Times New Roman, and I'll say something like love or something. It's dude, that fire, bro. Flame emojis. I don't get it, but but maybe that's because I come from similar background. Skateboarding has always been art based. There's an appreciation for art. There's appreciation for artists. I just think it's different. If you were ever part of the skate culture, I don't think that leaves you. Do you know what I mean? And
it's huge.
I think your appreciation for things is tenfold. I mean, skateboarding has a lot of cool stuff, like stickers, magazine ads, the jokes. You know what I mean? It's just a whole different thing.
I feel I might, get scolded for this or whatever, but I believe that everything skateboarding does is they make up what's cool in
No,
a lot of the
I see that.
industry. They
Look how people
they
dress.
predetermine, yeah, exactly. They predetermine a lot of things, and it's really powerful,
Yeah,
and it's crazy to see. But they set a lot of trends, and
I think they
they're on
always
top of
have.
it, yeah.
I mean,
And it's because of the culture and the type of um, appreciation they have for the art, and I think that is what has helped them succeed so much. And like also the attitude, of course, that comes with it, and a lot of other things. But
I also think there's no cultural barriers. Like,
mhm,
um, like skating, I've had friends from all different colors,
mhm,
all different cultures,
mhm,
and I never even noticed until I was older.
mhm,
Like when we would get older, and then they would start. People have nicknames, call me like Fish Boy, or you know what I mean,
mhm.
hey, I think that's racist, you know what I mean? But like growing up, I didn't even notice like different people, like
I hear you.
it's
And
weird. Like, yeah, I had friends that dressed like cholos, and then I had friends that were like super hip hop, and then skaters that were like punk, and we didn't even notice, you know what I mean? But they were all like fashiony trends in their own way, but that's just what they wore. You know what I mean?
I think I have a lot of friends. They're all, everyone's different. Um, but my friends from you know, in the skate world,
Yeah.
like they're it's a really interesting culture, man. Everyone's like really accepting. We don't see each other white, black, gay, straight, nothing like that. Like we're all, if you're out there skating, you're like one of us.
Yeah, I mean
And it's like,
that's how I've always felt like.
and it doesn't matter also skill level either. I know a lot of people get vibed out or this or that, and there are some weird skaters out there that vibe you out or whatever. Um, but everyone's for the most part really accepting in the culture. Everyone's really stoked that there's anyone out there skating. Shoot, it doesn't even have to be a person. It could be a dog, and we're stoked.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like we'd be
Yeah.
like, "This is a dog skating." Oh my
Yeah.
god! Like or like
Yeah, and people see a skateboard and like their eyes light up.
yeah, or whether it's a little kid or an older person. Like
Cause
honestly,
usually
like
like
we're
it's
all
a
accepting to. At least I am to like anyone.
I think it's a representation of like freedom.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know if it necessarily helped me um in like the corporate world. Cause skateboarding I've always had the mentality like I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
just kind of like just roll to your own path. Like you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I guess that's the way skating is. Like you just do your own thing. I've
Yeah.
never been into like team sports, and I think that has to do with skating because it's not a team sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I've never felt, and I've never like enjoyed football or basketball or whatever because it's like, dude, I can't do that.
Hmm.
But then I'll watch a skate video and it's like, oh, like that's my thing.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's different. It's because it's
It's like a
not
street sport.
necessary. It's on your, it's learning it, and it's on your own pace.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily having to learn with the team at the pace of the team, and like because the thing about life and all of us is we're all different, and we're all similar. We're all humans and guys or girls, whatever, but um, we're all a little bit different, and those like differences make us who we are and special. It's a very beautiful thing, but learning at your own pace, and like that's really cool, and like expressing yourself the way you want, however you feel you want on the skateboard,
Yeah.
like it's really cool. So it's honestly the ultimate reason why I'm still doing it today, and why I think it's so fun, because I get to express myself and however I want. I could go slap the grind, or I could go do an air if I want, and it feels good. And it's like
That's probably why you appreciate printing too, though, because like with skating, you'll do a trick, and you get a feel of accomplishment, but in that process, you failed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So that high of landing it like without being sketchy, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you feel accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like printing where like, dude, I don't know how to do this. And then you solve the math problem. You messed up a lot of test prints along the way.
Do all the problem
And you're like,
solving.
dude, like that's the nicest Times New Roman shirt I've made. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of
Similar.
delayed gratification
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it
it's
takes
similar.
time. A lot of the things that I like to do, they just took a lot of practice and a lot of time. So yeah, you're right. It is like really gratifying, like to do
Yeah.
them.
So like looking at everything the way that you've done Squeegee, like if you can go back in time, do you wish you started off different? Or do you think all of that paved the road for where you're at?
I think it all paved the road, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like whether it was the mistakes or um, certain events or whatever, I feel like everything paved the road to where I am today. And I feel like if I could have gone back, maybe I would have like invested in an automatic machine a little bit sooner. But I believe that because I didn't and I was so devoted to the actual process and the craft, it really helped me scale that type of business to the automated stage and now forward.
Yeah, and I think I would assume that it's good to understand, um, like, it's kind of good to understand how hard it like to start off with a heat gun and be like, dude, this is not gonna work. So now you understand the importance of a flash dryer, and then you're like, that's not gonna work. And then when you have a conveyor, you're like, that's what I've been looking for,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I would assume even like having an automatic, if you don't really understand what it's doing automatically, you can't really appreciate it as much.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a manual transmission in a car.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess it's kind of good to know why you downshift and why you don't throw it in the fifth gear from the
Mm-hmm.
get go. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I can't even imagine like an automatic, but I would assume that's it's
You're
pretty
right.
crazy. You know?
So like my friend Mark Coudray said a lot, he went to go study the like science of printing. Um, I really wanted to understand the physics of printing. So like not just the science part, but the physics part. Um, and like you were saying, like what exactly that entails, how it feels, how much pressure to use, what kind of contact I should have, my registration, things I should move around to make my order faster, better, more streamlined. Even things like pre-registration, like adding chokes and
Yeah, yeah.
traps to my artwork to make it easier on my printers so we can be more efficient.
What are the plans for like Squeegee like going forward? I mean, you guys have made big moves. I would say like I always see your stuff. So like I would say like in the last year, right? I would say you've really put a lot of focus on like marketing and things like that. So where are you headed to?
Um, my big my big goals right now are um, trying to build a sales team and hire some more people that are going to be focused on a certain position for the whole shop to run really well. I'm really focused on trying to maximize the potential in my shop
Mm.
as far as all the operating systems and cleaning, reclaiming, exposing. So I'm going to be upgrading my whole shop to be more efficient, um, uh, and a lot faster. But those are pretty much my main goals for right now, and then also um, focusing on delivering a better experience overall at Squeegee Prints. a real big one for me at the moment, which we are working really hard on right now.
Yeah.
But improving it is just one of my big goals for the future, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've said it like several times in this, but like I've been very impressed with just as a business owner. You know, I don't have a team. Well, I mean, I do. I have a few friends that like help support the brand, and I mean, I haven't gotten big enough where like I can really like support people per se. You know, and I have a family. Um, so I haven't gotten to the point where like I have like a full staff, things like that. Um, but I have had friends like support me and help me, and so I'm not discrediting them.
Mm-hmm.
But I give you credit because as a business, it's so hard. Like once you declare yourself as a business, doesn't necessarily mean that there's like a windfall of like all these people lined up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of work. So I give you credit because when I see Squeegee Prints, I see it as like a professional business, um, really done right, and you put out great work, you put out great content. You look like a team of 100. Where for me, it's just me, and I'll do these like whack videos sometimes. Um, I'll take a picture, and sometimes like I'll just use my phone. Like I should really do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I don't know. I think I was looking at an article the other day, or a video or something, and it was saying all these reasons to not start a clothing brand. I said one of the reasons is like you probably love art, but you probably suck at business. And I definitely suck at business. Like I've always been the guy behind the computer. I never had to be the business person. So when I see you, like I'm so impressed in all aspects of it, like from the business standpoint, but also in your craft. You know what I mean? So like I really give it up to you for that. Like that's hard. And to hear that you do the videos, that's like really, really impressive. Um,
Thank you so much, man.
yeah, like someone came in the other day, and then he was saying, "Yeah, I'm trying to get my social media up," um, and he said, "My friend from Squeegee Prints, he was telling me to do videos and stuff, and to use my iMac, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah," like, and then I started thinking like, "Damn, does he do the videos?" But yeah, dude, your name comes up all the time. But that's even cool. I mean, like, it was a dude from CV Water Sports, I think.
That's my homie. Yeah.
Yeah. So then he was saying, you know, and what's cool is like he's from a whole different field, but still looking up to you for the social media game. Like you're really killing it, you know. I definitely give it up to you for that. It's a whole different beast. And in the 10 years you've started your business, I would say, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, wouldn't you say like every year has kind of changed how it works?
Correct.
Um, and like over the 10 years, you've seen the whole game change, right? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even today's day, like I don't know. I have a feeling like Instagram is like not dying, but changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer in the business's favor.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've depended on Instagram for years, and I realize now like oh crap, like it's it's not it's not that tool anymore. So like what else is there? You know what I mean?
I noticed that it's not um, a, a great tool anymore like it used to be in the past because it doesn't favor us as much anymore.
Yeah.
But it favors them more if you want to pay for the advertisement, you
I
know?
feel like once you advertise once, you're screwed. So like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like once you place your first ad, they're like, we know that this guy is willing to spend to do another ad. And then I feel like at first your ad is like let's say $10 to reach 1 million people.
Mm-hmm.
Your next one is like $10 to reach 10,000 people, $10 to reach 1,000 people, $10 to reach 100. So you're like, wait a minute, didn't it used to be 1 million? But at the same time, I don't even know if all those people care.
Those numbers are constantly changing for them. Their algorithms, they're figuring out ways to, you know what, we can make these people spend more
Yeah.
and give them better incentive to spend more because we'll make more people see them or whatever, however their algorithms work. But you're right, their system of pricing is really based on value for um, their customers, and it's funny, but it's similar to what I'm doing as well with like some of my business and why it's helped me so much in my business as well because um, realizing the demand and the cost
Yeah.
behind the two has really helped me evaluate my business. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Like we undervalue our stuff too much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a perfect example. You just had that customer come in, he bought that
Yeah. Yeah.
product.
Yeah.
You know, you priced it at a certain thing. He
Yeah.
gave you more for it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and he was completely fine with it.
Yeah.
We don't realize the value that we provide because we're just viewing the things as a product, and you're comparing it in prices to other people's stuff. But what you don't understand is the value that you bring. You're right here on Third Avenue, in a hot spot, great spot to be when people are walking around and they say, you know what, I'm gonna go buy a shirt today. There's this great place
Yeah.
I come here to buy really cool shirts with cool designs for whether it's for me, a gift for my friend or someone.
Yeah.
People want to support, and you being part of the community, you're more valuable than you give yourself credit for. And it's good sometimes to acknowledge that our prices can be a little bit up more, and even if that means some people don't see that as well, they don't maybe align with those values and say, hey, you know, I don't think it's worth that or whatever. It's really what you set yourself at. It's like almost being
I'm starting to realize that because I realize like how much time I put into everything, and it's kind of hard. Like I would say I'm in the transition stage of like just being a pure artist. Originally, I was like, man, you want my shirt? Like that's cool. Here, I'll give you 5, because like as an artist, you just want to get your stuff out there. And then you realize like, yeah, that's killing me. Like that's not gonna work. So then I'll charge like the very minimum. But at the same time, I realize like a lot of times like I'll be stressed. Like, I'll have to go buy ink. I'm like, damn, that's a lot. Things like that. You know what I mean?
Art is a really common, a really good example actually to use. A lot of artists, they undervalue their art. You'll see art up somewhere that's like insane or great, and you'll see the price and it's like,
Yeah.
It's only 20, $40 or whatever. Something will be like, okay. Like,
then you'll see some for like thousands.
Yeah, of course.
Those are the ones eating.
Yeah. But like what I think what we do is we undervalue our art sometimes, and or our things, and we have to see that it's not necessarily just the product. It's the service, it's the experience. And if you could value yourself correctly and find the right market, even if a couple people do fall off, it doesn't matter. Like, um, like they could be charging too much for pastries next door, but it doesn't matter because the people that are vegan, that really it matters to them that it's a vegan pastry, they're gonna pay a lot for it. You know what I mean? Like
they already know that
exactly,
it's special.
yeah. And to them, they see that value, and they're not gonna bring down the prices just because some of the other bakeries have cheaper prices down the street. They're really going to keep that because the value is there. They know that the customer wants that, and they want that experience. So they're going to set their prices there, and it's good to realize those prices that we should have.
No, I hear that. That's really good advice to hear. I've been hearing that a lot because, especially with my stuff, I don't know. Like I've tried to price it at a point where um, it's not affordable, but well, yeah, I guess affordable, like realistic pricing versus some people, their prices are like, dude, where'd you get that number? Like, oh, because that's how much Gucci charges for their t-shirts. But like, dude, your shirt sucks. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know, but I mean, I see what I do, like the amount of work I put into it and everything, and the amount of care that I give. So yeah, I would definitely say like I undervalue myself. And that's why like again, I look up to you for like business, and just the way you put yourself out there, and it all makes sense. And that's why like these people that say like Squeegee's charging this, like, well, dude, I guarantee it's gonna come out good. You can go down the street to like your homie, your homie's little brother, but I don't know how it's gonna come out. Like, if you're trying to like build your empire and you're worried about like, you know, 85 cents or something, like, I don't know. But I know that like, especially now, like you go to Squeegee's, print it on automatic. It's not gonna be like crooked, and it's not gonna be, you know, whack. You know what I mean?
Or not the thing you
Yeah,
wanted.
yeah, yeah. Like you're gonna get it the way that it's supposed to be.
Mhm.
So you could rest assured, and that's worth a lot. I mean, you can get them made in China, and you don't know what's gonna come back. Like your design might be this big because on your little mock-up you put the wrong decimal point or something.
Mhm.
And if that's cool with you and you're willing to take that chance, like go ahead. But
Mhm.
um,
We deal with a lot of companies that they come and they leave by price
yeah,
sometimes. Um, but what's cool is we deal with a lot of companies that really value us in the sense of it's done right, it's done on time.
yeah.
There's a really good communication in between to make sure that they're getting what they want. Not only that, but a lot of people see value in us because our customers have a certain vision sometimes for how they want their shirt to come out. And sometimes we can show them the best way to print it so we can make their visions come to life. And that's huge in the industry. Like,
Oh, that's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like when we visit any craftsman, we want to take their advice to make sure that the end result is the best possible. And it's it's really valuable information, you know what I mean? Like if you go see um, a tattoo artist and he really recommends a certain way to do it, you're gonna want to do it right because it's gonna be on your body forever. Um, or if you go to a barber and he tells you, you should wash your hair a certain way, you better listen to him. But like, wash your hair with that stuff. Otherwise, that crazy stuff you put in your hair is not gonna wash out. Or
Yeah.
it's a lot of stuff, man. And
And I
we
would,
don't see it all the time, but there's value everywhere for sure.
yeah, and I would say too, like in your 10 years, every job you've picked up, it's added to your archive of like skills.
Hmm.
Um, like a big blocky print. Oh, this reminds me of the design I did for ABCD. You know what I mean? Back in like whatever, and we had a hard time printing that, and we cured it with whatever remedy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So like now when you do that type of design, like where other people are like, I don't know, we could try to figure it out. It might not work.
Yep, I hear you on that.
But I don't know. It's crazy. Like I would definitely say, like as far as printing business, you've done a good job, man. Like I don't know. You have a lot of stuff to be proud of. A lot of, like I said, if there's anyone out there that's like interested in starting your business or even looking at a business to kind of like model after, I think you're a great representation of that. Like a good case study for people to just observe and to take points from and add a little bit of squeegee into their own life. You know what I mean? Um, cause yeah, like I said, like you do a lot of things well. And it's not easy to do, especially in today's world, you know. And I think one of the things that keeps you up top probably is like quality is important. So as long as you put out good quality stuff, and like even these quality videos, quality photos, whatever, even your Instagram will still work for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to do half-ass stuff and whatever, you can bitch about Instagram just like me. You know what I mean? But really, it's like you. I guess Instagram is almost good. Like it's got to push people to do better. And like you said at the beginning, like do better. You
Yeah.
know?
We could all do better. We we all know we can. If you have that mentality of like I can do better, as long as you're trying to do better, we will progress at everything we do.
Yeah.
So just have that positive mentality of like this is great, but how can I make it better? And just knowing that you could still move forward. You know, you they say progression is um, the enemy of perfection because you know you never really get anything done if you're trying to get it done perfect.
Yeah.
But you have to progress. You have to start somewhere, and as long as we're progressing constantly, you will
You'll
reach that
eventually get there.
perfection. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about committing yourself and being dedicated to what you're doing, and that
Yeah.
helps out a lot.
I hear that.
Enjoying it is like really helpful too.
I think that I don't know, just me alone, I've learned a lot today. Um, gives me a lot of stuff to think about. I think do better is a great um, thing to go put on a T-shirt today.
Mm-hmm.
um, and Squeegee will give out 5,000. No, I'm just playing. But no, that's sick though. I think it's true. Everyone can do better, especially nowadays. Like we get kind of used to just rapid speed. So like, yeah, I could just take a picture of this real quick and then throw it up, get 12 likes, and that's a wrap. But if you do better, everything you'll get farther. You know.
Mhm. But on that note, don't be afraid to mess up along the way. It's those mistakes that will help us clarify the way we should be doing things. You know, you were
Yeah.
complimenting earlier on like my videos and stuff. Like I've messed up a lot of clips before I was like realizing what were the right patterns to get the right clips to use a tripod. Um, you
Yeah.
know, make sure your exposure is right for the lighting on every shot. You
Yeah.
know, like it's a lot of little nuances, but once we practice those things over and over and over, we will get closer to perfection, and as long as we keep progressing. So I will say it again and again. Just always keep progressing.
No, I hear that, and like I said, from my standpoint, I've seen you progress a lot. I'm sure people are familiar with you out there. They've seen you progress a lot. Like, again, you have a lot to be proud of. I hope you continue to progress. I look forward to watching Squeegee Print grow. Um, I think one day we'll see everyone in the world with a Squeegee Print shirt. Um, when you take over the world, one automatic press at a time. Um, Probably in 10 years, you're gonna purchase Plaza Bonita, and it'll just be a print shop. Like it'll just be a giant print shop. That's super sick though. Um, no, I appreciate you coming, doing this. I know you're a busy guy, um, and I also thank you for, like I said, always being like super humble person coming through and advising, helping, and you're just an overall good dude. I wish you the best. Everything you do. Skating, I hope you can skate until you're 108.
Yeah.
No idea how you do it, but that's super dope too. And hope you have a lot of awesome guitars in your span of guitar career. Hopefully, you don't get so good at guitar that you quit printing. But that would be cool too. You know, I'll bring you on as a musical guest.
Yeah. Thank you so
But,
much, man.
Now,
Thank you.
how do people like get a hold of Squeegee?
Um, so this is a great one. Thank you so much for asking. The best way to get a hold of us or to place an order with us would be to go to our website, squeegeeprints.com, and fill out the simple form. It's 10 questions long and it has an upload button of your design. And we quote you right away that same day. And if it's within business hours, of course. And if not, also you could check us out on Instagram. We're just at Squeegee Prints, and we started uploading more stuff on YouTube as well. So we're on YouTube as Squeegee Prints.
Oh, sick! I didn't know you're on YouTube.
Yep, we're just starting to upload our videos. That I was realizing like I have a lot of cool videos. I'm gonna start uploading them.
Are you trying to take out cat spit?
No, no. Shout out to Catspit, dude, man. That guy's an OG. He's like some of the only information that was out there back in the day.
That's how like I learned how to print. Like,
For a lot of us, like it was some of the original content or information on YouTube of how to print. I've never met the guy yet. I feel like I've seen him maybe at a trade show from far away. You could spot him a mile away.
Yeah.
But
no, he's super cool. Like, well, I don't know him, but I probably owe him some money or something because like he's done a lot for me.
Yeah, dude. No, yeah, for sure. He was like some of the OG videos. Now there's a lot of videos online and stuff. I'm not trying to make any kind of informational videos really, but
just kind of a look into Squeegee.
Yeah, I just kind of want to like look into Squeegee. I might make some like tour of the shop, and I'm gonna make some informational videos about like discharge printing and water-based printing for our customers.
Like the difference in how to choose what.
Yeah, and that'll help their look and overall feel.
Yeah.
At the end of the process, so that's another really popular thing that a lot of people like, and I'm really proud to specialize in that. I got to learn how to do it at the factory when I was working there like over 10 years ago, and I'm still doing it today, and it's a really great service that I know a lot of people are really into.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of people don't even know. So I think it's sick. So anyone out there, if you need shirts done, this is the guy to talk to. If you want guitar lessons, probably he's the guy to talk to. If you're nervous about skating a pool and you want some tips, he's probably the guy to talk to. If your business sucks, he's probably the guy to talk to. So you can talk to him about a lot of stuff. But no, again, thank you so much for coming through. Truly, I wish you the best. It's been amazing to watch you grow. And as someone that didn't know you prior, it's amazing, like I said, how humble you've remained. And you are like the go-to person for screen printing. I don't know, like I only say San Diego because I know that you kill it here, but I have no idea. I mean, maybe North America. I have no idea.
We do a lot of nationwide.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For sure.
I'm sure.
People in New York and
but
a lot of other places.
It's sick, dude, and you're like a normal guy. And if you ever want to find him, good chance, like just keep your ears out, come out to 3rd Avenue, and you hear the blues music, and you'll see him. Like you would have no idea. But appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me.
Again, check out Squeegee Prints. Follow them, like them, do all that. Tell your grandma she needs some shirts. Your cousin's birthday.